I also love seeing my day laid out because it helps me budget my time properly. But what you want to do is add the time in the day that you plan to complete those priorities and set them as a reoccurring event or task on your calendar. And you can start by adding your family time onto your calendar first, and then add your admin things for your brand. And then also remember to add time to prep for the next day. Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. It's Carly, and I am so ready to talk about one of the most important topics for every side hustler out there: time management. So let's be real. Most of us have decided to start to build our personal brand or business because we wanted to reclaim our time. We wanted the freedom to do what we love. We wanted the freedom to spend more time with our families and to make money. But if you're anything like me, you quickly realize that time feels so sparse when you got a full-time job, a family, a business, and other parts of life like ministries and hobbies and a social life. Like, it's a lot, sis. So in today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to create a more balanced life while building your brand, how to have more structure in your days, how to block your time effectively, and most importantly, how to make sure your family doesn't get left behind in the midst of the hustle and grind. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we dive into today's topic, I want to let you know about a free resource I created just for you. If you ever feel stuck when it's time to post content for your personal brand, I got you covered. Download my free 30 days of done for you social media prompts for personal brands so you never stress about what to post again. You can grab it for free at cdcreativecoagency.com/content. Trust me, it'll change the way you create your content. Okay, so let's start by discussing 3 ways to master your time. And this is going to happen by setting themes for your day. Now, this has been a game changer for me, especially if you are like me and juggling a lot of responsibilities. So here's the deal. Every day doesn't have to look the same. I want you to think about which days you are the most motivated, which days you tend to feel lazy, and when you're naturally productive, and build your schedule around you, your lifestyle, and your vibe. So let me break down how I structure my week. So on Sundays, those are my absolutely no work rest days. I don't take calls, I don't check emails, and I don't even think about work. That's the day I spend with my family. I go to church and I just lay around the house and be lazy for the entire day. Mondays are my admin days. Now, I work from home, so I have the pleasure of not having to get dressed up for work. But typically on Mondays, I like to stay in my pajamas for most of the day. I have most of my calls for work in the mornings. And then once 5 o'clock hits, I tackle all of my admin tasks that I don't have to hop on camera for. So emails, invoicings, and other low energy tasks. No calls, just me working strictly on my computer. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my most productive days, so I schedule all of my major high energy tasks on those days and meetings for those days. I take client calls only from 5 to 7 o'clock, and I allow myself to have a 2-call max in one day. By 7 o'clock, I like to be done with work so I can eat dinner with my husband and my son. On Thursdays, those are my personal development days. I feel most motivated. I meet with my business coach during my lunchtime, and then I meet with my therapist after work. And typically after those sessions, I spend the rest of the evening pouring into myself and just chilling out. Fridays are my free days. Now, because I typically sometimes have shoots on Saturdays, I like to use Fridays as my days to prep for my shoot, like pick up equipment or create my mood boards. Or if I don't have any clients, I just like to vibe out and go with what I'm feeling. And that could be either catching up on work or hanging out with friends or just not doing anything at all. Now, Saturdays are my busiest days, and these are the days that I expect to be working with clients, doing content shoots, or attending client events. But the more of the story is breaking down my days by themes. I know exactly what I need to focus on each day, and it helps me from being overwhelmed. So I want you to take a moment to think about your week and create themes that will work best for you. Now, remember, this is all about creating a flow that fits your life and keeps you balanced. All right, so now that we talked about themes, let's talk about how to manage your time each day with time blocking. Time blocking is where you can take control of your schedule and ensure every part of your day has a purpose. So I want you to start by listing out all of your daily priorities, whether that's devotional time, family time, work tasks, brand tasks, meals, workouts, pickups and drop-offs, whatever you do in a weekly basis, write everything down and put it on paper. Next, I want you to block off specific times for each activity using something like Google Calendar. Now, I love using Google Calendar because it helps me create a calendar that I specifically call my daily routine and set those tasks on my calendar with alerts and alarms and block off time to make sure that it never gets double booked. I also love seeing my day laid out because it helps me budget my time properly. But what you want to do is add the time in the day that you plan to complete those priorities and set them as a reoccurring event or task on your calendar. And you can start by adding your family time onto your calendar first, and then add your admin things for your brand. And then also remember to add time to prep for the next day. Also, include time blocks for you to go to the gym or work out or do some type of physical activity. This is really me preaching to myself because it's so easy to get caught up on working, especially if it's something you love to do, but you have to take time to take care of yourself. The third thing I want you to do is to use focus mode on your phone to limit distractions. When you have a full time job, we're already starting with less time in the day because we spend anywhere between 8 to 10 hours a day with our job, 6 to 8 hours of sleeping, which means on average, we have about 6 to 10 hours to do everything else we need to do in a day. So when you're working, put your notifications on silent and lock in. This is definitely going to help you get more done in a fraction of the time. No easy, seamless scrolling, okay? I want you to start thinking of ways that you can start outsourcing. Actually, I want you to outsource as much as possible. If it's not a task that has to be done by you, I want you to outsource. 3 nights out of the week, my husband handles bedtime routine, which allows me 3 nights to tap into my brand and not have to worry about being distracted. But I also outsource cooking dinner by ordering Factor, which is a ready-made meal delivery service that delivers healthy ready-made meals to your door every single week. This has been a game changer because I literally just pop the meals in the microwave for 2 minutes and food is ready to go. And if you would like a free week of meals on me, check out the link in the show notes to grab your free box of Factor meals on me. I know you're about to ask, well, what do you do about groceries? I also outsource groceries as well. I have a list of household items that I have to order every single week. It does not change no matter the day, but I place my order on my HEB app, which HEB is a grocery store that we have in Texas if you are not in Texas. But either way, I place my order on my HEB app, and then either I or my husband pick up our groceries on Monday or Tuesday every week. And these are little things that you can implement for free that will allow you to buy back time in your day. Some things I do pay for to make my life easier, like outsourcing cleaning and having someone come to clean my house. And I also outsource photo editing and video editing for my business. So I have more time in my schedule to do things that I actually have to do. I also have implemented automations in my CRM system that allows things to flow without me manually having to send emails to clients, follow up, or even email reminders. And then I also have a system when it comes to content creation that allows me to cut my content creation brainstorming phase down to literally 1 hour. And you can too. Grab my free guide called 30 Days of Done For You Social Media Prompts for Personal Brands so you never stress about what to post again. I'll also leave a link in the show notes below. But the name of the game is to work smarter, not harder. Do anything you can to buy back time because that is going to always be a win. And sis, here is a reminder to go to bed. Honestly, this is really for me, if I'm being honest. But if you know you have work early in the morning, don't find yourself staying up until 4 a.m. every single night. Although I understand hustling is important, but so is rest, which also reminds me, set your rest days. These are non-negotiables. You need a day where you can absolutely do nothing weekly. Let this be a reminder that you are not a robot. So don't overwork yourself. Take some time to rest. Let this be a sense of encouragement to time block and be intentional about time blocking, because when you know where your time is going, you can focus on what truly matters and get more things done. Okay, so now that we talked about time blocking, let's talk about why you need to prioritize family time. This is something I'm really passionate about because at the end of the day, your family is your foundation. Date nights, school events, birthday parties, these are moments that are non-negotiable. And whenever you're faced with a decision on making money or making memories, you should definitely choose wisely. Yes, your brand is important, but you can always start another one. You cannot get back lost time with your family. So here are some things that I do to make sure that I prioritize my family. Number one, I schedule date nights with my husband at least twice a month. Number two, every day when my son gets home, I'll always spend time either watching a show with him or playing with him for a couple of minutes. And then number three, schedule one day on the weekend to spend time with your family. Like I said before, Sundays are my rest days, but those are also my family days. So when we spend Sundays, we go to church and then brunch, and then we might do an activity after or just hang out around the house. But those are the days that I have before allowed my work to interfere with, but never will do that again, which is why I implemented earlier this year to my clients that we are closed on Sundays. And it was the best thing that I could do for myself by allowing me to have a day not to work, but also to be intentional with my family. So don't let the hustle and the grind rob you of those moments, because those moments matter the most. Your brand will grow, but your family is irreplaceable. Okay, so let's recap how to master your time and balance everything while building your brand. Number one is you're going to set themes for your days to create flow and focus. Number two, you're going to use time blocking and your focus mode to stay locked in and limit your distractions. And number three, you're going to always prioritize your family because they are your why. All right, so that's it for today's episode. I hope you found this helpful and useful and found ways to implement structure in your day and your calendar. Now, balancing is not easy, believe me, I get it, but it's about figuring out what works for you and making it happen one step at a time. Now, before we wrap, don't forget to grab your free guide, 30 Days of Done-For-You Social Media Prompts for Personal Brands. It's packed with content ideas to help you create, connect, and build your brand without the stress. So head over to cdcreativecoagency.com/content to download it now. And if you love today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Remember, your time is your most valuable resource. Use it wisely and protect it with all your might. Until next time, keep hustling and don't forget, you got this, sis. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.